Hi guys, hello, how are you doing? Right, I'm introducing you to a brand new set of vlogs on my new long-termer for the year, which is the Suzuki GSX-R1000R. And yeah, I've not actually ridden it a great deal. It got used at our Sports Bike of the Year test at Portimao, which basically meant it got thrashed by a load of blokes, senseless, and as anyone who's seen the current issue, or the issue just about to hit the shelves, will know it did pretty well. So first off, just got to say well done to Suzuki for kind of knocking it out of the park at the return. But already starting with the modifications, in which case these little things here, which are going to go on the back swing arm, because as you can see we are still running, I've still got stuck on the Bridgestone VO2 slicks, and whilst the recent heat, which has been 30 degrees, that's fine, obviously, when you're riding out on the road. So I have a lovely set of Pirelli Super Coursers going over there, fresh for the summer. And then later on in the year I'll move to, say, come to October or autumn, whatever, I'll move to something else. I don't know what, maybe something a bit wintry. But I've got this all the way through the winter and all the way through till next summer. And we've got some quite nice things planned with it, but yeah, then first things first, get some new stick these on, get some new tyres on it, and then we'll start planning.
Are you fitting them in?
Pardon, William?
Are you fitting the...
Yeah, well, we've already got some. We've got some what I would call basic ones in already. I'm just trying the tricky thing of trying to actually do this and hold a camera at the same time, which is pretty impossible. So what I'm going to do is turn the camera off,
or just let me do it.
or just let you do it. Yes, it's probably easier. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. I don't actually know how much these cost. I'll have to double check and let you guys know. But they're not much, but they're kind of nice. But I have got a whole slew of interesting little bits and bobs and engine things, and it's got some case protection as well to go on. But yeah, everyone, nice to have a William. Everyone needs a William or a Willy.
Yeah, that or both.
Or both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
I think this is how we go.
You think?
No, no, you put
Now who needs to look at the picture?
it round backwards. You've got
Yes, I know that. I'd figured that out while I was trying to do it one-handed.
Right, I'm going to put a little bit of Lotto on these so they don't fall out.
That's a clever idea. Let's follow William to the Loctite. Oh, here comes it. Ever the professional. And there's John learning how to use email. It's a brave new world, John.
Dollars. Dollars.
Ta-da! Very nice, and they've got Yoshimura written on them. Yoshimura. Sweet. Right, next one on, and then tyres. Bye-bye slicks. Look at the muscles, look at him go. This will be a little special for some of William's fans on YouTube.
Fans?
Have you not seen that?
Yeah, we've seen
that post on YouTube?
I've not personally seen it.
He declined. He declined taking your number though, funnily enough.
Oh.
So it looks like your luck's not in, mate.
No, not this time.
Not this time.
Try again.
Try again. You just need to look more sexy. Even sexier. Is that even possible? Don't forget that part, mate. Most important part.
It is. It's 10 horsepower right there.
Right, that's the Supercourses on, thanks to the boys. One thing I didn't say actually is because we used the Sports Bike of the Year, what we actually did when we were there was we put the tracks, Suzuki's recommended track settings in. Now I'm actually going to leave it like that just simply because they were better on track and I thought it was a little bit bouncy as standard, so we're just going to leave it as is. So hopefully what I'll do now is take it out on the road for a bit of a ride. Not ridden it on the road yet, and yeah, and then see where we go from there. Just noticed something on a bike here. Just going to have a bit weird.
This bike?
Unless they're somehow live and people piss you off. Each to their own. Hey guys, right, I'm about a week in of putting the Pirellis on and yeah, love them, absolutely love them. My joint favourite tyre, the Pirelli Supercorsa with Bridgestone's R10, and I am really liking it. Got absolutely soaked yesterday, pissing rain, nah, easy done. Just bear with me a little bit because I'm using a new camera, trying to get out a different camera for this and it might be a bit shaky. I'm trying to figure out the best way of holding it. I'm using a little Olfi, as you can see there, and this is a great little thing. It's a little 4K camera that costs about 150 quid, which is amazing, and so far the results have been really good, but we'll take it out. Anyway, the GSX-R, so then, living with, it is a great thing, you know, it is a great thing, but like anything else, you know, there are one or two little things that, I don't want to say bug, but just need a bit of attention. One of which I can't really do anything about, I don't think. Now, that's the dash. So, look at this, right? This is the dash. Now, the reason this dash is like this, and not some big colour whoopee-doo thing, is basically so this bike can remain about £16,000, which is absolutely fantastic, really, because for a top-level bike, that is brilliant. However, there are a couple of things about it. I'm just going to guess where you can see it. For one thing, the gear position thing is there right next to the speedo, and there's a funny kind of brain thing happens because it's about the same size. So when you're in first let me do it. No, anyway, okay, right, you get the idea anyway. So it's there. So say I'm doing 30 miles an hour in second gear. If I flick my eyes just down quickly, my brain tells me 302 which isn't great, but you know, and as you can see, there is kind of a lot going on. And then I don't know if you can see here because there's a bit of glare going on. That is the best MPG I've been able to get out of it, which is 30.7. And the other day I filled this up, and it told me I had 98 miles on this thing here, and I thought that's not particularly brilliant, is it? But then again, anyone that watched our sports bike of the year will know we think this is the second best sports bike you can buy dynamically. So, you know, I think that sometimes you've got to make some sacrifices. Now, there's one other thing, and it's exactly the same problem I had with the Yamaha MT-10. I don't have tiny fingers, but they're not the longest fingers, and one reason this bike didn't win Sports Bike of the Year was because of its brakes. It's a Suzuki thing, it's always been the same for absolutely ages, and they're not particularly good. Now, just like the MT-10, I have the same problem in that this amount of here, nothing really happens, right? Nothing really happens. And that's even if I've got my hand right on the side. And then if I need to brake in an emergency and pull, I'm instantly trapped. And the other day I had a bit of an emergency braking scenario when I ended up trapping my fingers. I wasn't stopping, was heading pretty sharpish towards the back of the car, and I managed to just get my hand off the bar enough to pull it all the way. Now, last time around with the MT-10 we solved this with some Brembo road and track pads, and to be honest with you, that is exactly what I'm going to do again, because I know it works. We think also the fact this is an old master cylinder on, you know, they, as Alistair said in Sports Bike Gear, they say Brembo, but you know, they're not the Brembos that you know and love. Mated to an old master cylinder doesn't really do it, but the fact of the matter is that pads should give me what I want. Accident. Pads should give me what I want, which is more braking power just here. And then I can keep the lever where I find it comfortable. So there you go. So that's a couple of things. MPG, not great. Brakes, not particularly brilliant. Everything else is amazing. The engine's amazing. The variable valve timing and all the different exhaust valves they've got means, you know, this is a BMW eater. In the lower reacher, it really is, even though it makes less power and less torque. And very clever gearing inside the gearbox. But we are here at SP Engineering because it is time for the carbuncle to go. So I'm not actually sure what Dave has got planned. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Where is it? Hello. Hello. Hi mate, you alright? Need my rubbish exhaust, standard exhaust fixing. You're going to help me out, I believe.
You think you can do that?
You think you can do that? Good man. Where's Mr. Dave? Is he? Should go see him. Whoops. Dropping one's mobile phone is never a clever idea. Where is he? There he is. And I've done it again. That's literally twice in 2 seconds. I have rubbish pockets. Hi Dave.
Hello.
Say hello.
Good morning.
Right then. What are we fixing my Suzuki with, Dave?
We are going to be fitting a plain titanium Diabolus in this
Ooh.
range here, but in plain titanium.
Is that one there, maybe?
Very similar to that, yeah.
Very similar to that. And this comes with a little link pipe, right?
It certainly does, yeah. The relevant bracketry will all be included.
Fantastico. Okay. But obviously there are many. Are these your entire options that people, if they wanted, could have on?
Yep, we've got a massive range of around about 200 options.
Dave, you ever heard of too much choice?
Definitely, yeah.
That is a absolute shitload. Well, again, you did such a great job with the MT10. That yeah, I recognise that because that's what I had on the MT10 last time round, wasn't it? Hiya.
Hi.
Hi, wave, say hi. So there we go. So anyway, right, Dave and his guys are going to get on with fitting it, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, the new can is on. Ready? Are we ready? Whoa, 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 Dave! Jump the gun there, Dave. Don't jump the gun. Now, I think you'll all agree that is a lot better than the big carbuncle. Although, as we were talking about, Dave, the carbuncle is actually quite light.
Surprisingly light, yes.
I mean, it's titanium, but it's got a cat in it. So that was very surprising. Now, would you like to do the honours for the lovely people?
Yes.
See what it sounds like.
Very eager.
Right now, Dave, considering this is just a can, not just a can, but you know what I mean, and that tiny little link pipe there, that is a lot of noise compared to standard.
It is, yeah.
Because the rest of it, we know there's another cat under there, and then in the downpipes there are like 3 exhaust valves or something, and another cat. So that's actually really fruity.
Yeah, it's made a big difference.
It-
So
it-
we're really pleased with the result.
It does. Now, is a baffle available for people?
There is a removable baffle option, yes, that fits in the end.
Can I have one, please, so I can go on track?
Yeah, you'll definitely need that.
Okay, and tell the lovely people, how much is this Diabolus can and link pipe for the GSX-R?
You're looking at prices for around about £250
For the whole...
for the link pipe and the can and the bracketry, yeah.
Alright, and that comes with everything, doesn't
Everything you need to fit, yeah.
it? Lovely old job. And yeah, and also a nice sticker. We're waiting for the stickers to come
the
in.
new emblems are on order and they'll be with us shortly.
And so I can have an emblem here soon.
Yep.
Brilliant. That would be perfect. Mate, thank you ever so much. Look at that. Time to go ride. Right, quick update after filling it up again. I told you last time, I think I said before, last time I filled it up, it gave me like 100 miles range. Anyway, I've squeezed as much fuel as I possibly can into it, and I'm sorry for talking about these like MPG figures, it's hardly really fast bikes, is it? Anyway, now we have 118 miles to end of tank, and by dribbling along at like 30 miles an hour behind some traffic, I managed to get the MPG up to 32, so that's the best so far. But the good news is that with the SP Canon, it now sounds so much fruitier, but it's not, I don't think it's offensive fruity. It's, when you're just riding on at low speed, it's actually quite quiet. But when you really start getting a wriggle on, then it starts to, you know, sound really nice and fruity and awesome. So I would definitely say 250 quid, job done there. But this is just the start, because I've got a Yoshimura one to put on at some point, and I also have a M4 from James to put on, and there are other people who are interested in doing the same thing. So anyway, I'm going to see if I can chuck this up on the dyno in a bit, just to see what difference this makes. I've heard quite a few stories about taking the cans off, putting a can on from other people about mid-range being lost and all sorts. So I want to see kind of where we are with that. But for the moment, yeah, I do love this thing already. You know, it rattles quite a lot, by the way. Seriously, it does. It makes all sorts of rattly, like an old Italian bike. But I don't know, I kind of like that in a funny way.
shifter.
It's good, isn't it?
I love it.
It is good, and the down blip is good. Well, actually, the truth is the down blipper is actually a bit inconsistent. On some corners, it goes click, click, and then on others, it's a bit clunky. But the quick shift... Fire it up again. Let me go around the other side. Let's get some...
Spastic thing on it.
Yeah.
I love it.
we'll give it this to start with. Sounds pretty good.
I love it!
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
I want one super stock now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do. So then, standard was 171.
We're now 174.
174. That's all right.
That ain't super stock, is it?
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
All right, brilliant. So,
Torque's gone up from 103 to 106.
and well, we've got some, and now bearing in mind, this is just a can that fits onto the downpipes that have 2 more cats in it. That's not bad. And I had heard some stories.
You don't lose anything anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, this is the thing. I've seen on other ones, some people have had little dips in the mid-range, but here, with this can on, we don't seem to have any problem, do we?
There's no issues here.
No. And again, what's that? Three and a bit horsepower on the top. But what's the thing there? What are we talking there? Oh, see, now
8.
that's
8 horsepower, 9. Yeah, we're making good horsepower there.
yeah. It's not
So
bad, is it?
where are these people making these losses to? What's going on?
How the hell am I supposed to know? I don't know.
This bike only meets.
Yeah. Well, we know with a full system, because the full system does away with all the, because it's got like 2 or 3 exhaust valves here, obviously, and we know that because race teams have done it. When they put the full system on, they do lose initially a bit of torque. They have done though.
No, I don't think.
Or is it the drivability that the different exhaust
I
valves?
think the fly-by-wire feel for the back tyre is probably an issue.
Oh, okay.
All right, and this is where when you put a full system on,
Yeah.
that full system's gonna exasperate and so forth all the breathing side of things.
Yeah.
So it's not going to lose horsepower, but it's the relationship. Now you've put the full system on.
Yeah.
Of that throttle to getting the performance down to the back tyre.
Okay.
You may see a lag in it.
Okay.
Because I think it'll really come into its own when you start ECU mapping it.
Yeah. I need to caveat what I said. What I meant was when they first put the can on, and then someone else with the system, it lost power. As soon as it was mapped, they got it all back and more. But
Probably find that Yoshimura
yeah.
have got something coming out very shortly.
You reckon? Because I've got after this SP can. Oh, right, look at his face. Yeah. After this SP can, which has done all right for 250 quid,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yep, she's done okay, isn't she? I've got a Yoshimura R11 can to go on, and then a full system. But then you're also going to find me something, aren't you?
Yeah.
M4.
I'll find you something special.
Because obviously M4 do a lot in Moto America, and Suzuki's very popular.
But considering they run the factory team.
Well, exactly that. See, so
I
yeah.
believe it's a factory team anyway. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, it's one of the top teams though. They do all right. They do all right. Okay, so there we go. That's not bad at all. And yeah, all my worries were unfounded because it makes more power.
Suzuki, can I have one? Please.
Right then, so first new blog on the Suzuki GSX-R down, and as you can see, we've started to already play about with it. I've got to say, the SP Engineering can and link pipe, I love it. I specifically went for the can that I did, mostly because I think the Gixer still looks a bit old school. Its design is fine, but it's not the most modern design, so I wanted something that looks a bit traditional. So a round can, just nice and plain. There's already so much black on the bike, I didn't want the carbon one, just because it'll just get lost in all the darkness of it. But they also have carbon available, and they also have stainless steel, and if the Diabolus can doesn't really do it for you, then they've got about a zillion other cans, as you could probably see when I walked into the things. They've got plenty of options. However, £250 for that, for the can and the link pipe. And the most impressive thing for me is, of course, the results. Now, I wasn't expecting much, if anything, to come from it, but because, as you can see from the dyno run with James, it gained pretty much everywhere. We didn't lose anything, and if you put a extra performance per pound ratio against the SP can, it's incredible. And you know, I suppose I've got a Yoshi one to go on. It's about 3 times as expensive. It's beautiful, but it's about 3 times as expensive. And we're going to have an M4 one, which is a little bit cheaper than the Yoshi, but still a little bit more expensive, I think, than the SP. It's all down to, I suppose, whether or not you can afford it. But if you're after cheap power and what I think are pretty good looks, because I chose it because that's what I wanted, it's brilliant. 250 quid. And you can feel it. This is the thing, you can really, really, really feel it. Now, you also saw that I just put my Yoshi things on so we could get it up on a paddock stand. I've got loads of stuff from Yoshimura to go on this bike. I've got a whole slew of bits and bobs and nuts and bolts and things to kind of chuck on there, which I will do in the future. However, one of the biggest problems with the Gixer is the brakes. And you know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here because I've already got the next 2 or 3 vlogs kind of half filmed and lined up. But something, you know, happened recently what made me realise just how bloody poor they are. So the first thing we're going to do in the next vlog is try to address this, and we'll do it systematically, trying one thing at a time. So we're going to try the first thing next time around. To get the brakes sorted. After that, I will be having a full system coming, probably from Yoshimura. I already have a rapid bike, which is like a power commander type thing to go on. And then later on, I've been given the go-ahead to have a fiddle with the ECU, so I'll be letting James loose on that. As always with these blogs, any questions, anything you guys want to ask, anything, if there's something you want me to try, I will attempt to try and stick it on. And also in the next blog as well, I want to talk a bit more about, just about the Suzuki, just how it is, the electronics, how they work, because you need to have them in a particular way to be able to do really what you want. So yeah, so first one done and dusted. Next one should hopefully be coming in a week or so, or a couple of weeks, or when I get around to finishing off doing the filming for it. So stick with me, and yeah, hopefully I've got the bike until deep into next year. So it's going to be a long road, but if it's as fun as the actual bike is most of the time, bar the brakes, then it's going to be an amazing year. Even through winter, I am going to have a ball. So bye bye.